Thank you and good afternoon. This is Sam Vaughn for Sam's Sports Report. And it's Mental Health Day. The Royals show off their power last night in the win with 4 home runs. Bobby Witt Jr. launched a 3-run homer. Mike Yastrzemski delivered a 2-run homer in his debut with the Royals in his first at bat. Adam Frazier blasted a 2-run shot. Salvador Perez hit 1-2. The Royals won 9-3. The Royals lead the series. The Jays hope to notch one today. The Royals will have their best pitcher of the year besides Chris Bubik, who is on the DL. It'll be Noah Cameron against former Missouri Tiger Max Scherzer, who's been great over his career but has not been great this year. He has an ERA of 4.89, but has spent most of his season on the DL. Game time, 2:07. The Cubs will play the Orioles today. The Orioles.
Tomoyuki Sugano
Sugano will go for the A's, and Matthew Boyd will go for the Cubs. The Cubs won yesterday 1-0. The Cubs set to host. They won yesterday 1-0 as we mentioned. That game begins at 1:20. In a following game below 500, Michael Gravey will go for the Cards, and Randy Vasquez will go for the Padres. The Cardinals lost 4-1 last night, and the Padres are favored again. This game begins at 9:10. To listen to the Terry Deadline, here's that link. As the Kansas and Missouri are upset over the 3-year project over the stadiums, there has been a meet to court. I guess there's a loss up against Kansas against Missouri.
The drama swirling around where the Chiefs and the Royals will play in 2031 and beyond has been going on for more than 2.5 years now. The latest turn in the saga involves a lawsuit by some members of the Missouri legislature against state officials over a new financing option that passed during a special session in June. I'm KSHB 41 News Sports Business reporter Todd Palmer, and we asked some fans at Chiefs camp if they're fed up with all the drama. There's no shortage of passion in Chiefs Kingdom. Go Chiefs! Yeah! But patience when it comes to the stadiums might be another thing.
I think everybody would be happy to have a solution and get over it and just get back to winning championships in this town. We're kind of tired of the states being pitted against each other as well, so let's get to a solution. You know, the owners need to pony up and do what they need to do, and let's get something done.
Chiefs fans and Royals fans have been on a roller coaster as the team reviewed options, pitched ideas, muddled through a failed vote, then hit the brakes to be courted by the Kansas and Missouri legislatures.
Honestly, I don't care where the stadium is. I'm just a fan, so I'll go anywhere.
But she'd love a resolution to the stadium saga.
For me, it is what it is, but just make it, pick at this point. Pick. I don't care where. Just pick.
Chiefs chairman and CEO Clark Hunt understands that sentiment, but didn't sound optimistic Monday that any deal was imminent.
I don't want to get into how close we are to making a decision because I found over time with stadium situations that until they're done, they're not done. We feel an urgency to bringing the process to a conclusion, but that doesn't mean I can will it to happen in any specified period of time.
The Kansas legislature set a loose deadline for the end of the year to have a decision by the teams. At that point, it will have been more than 3 years since John Sherman and the Royals first published a letter saying they hope to move downtown. Channeling my inner Andy Reid in St. Joe, Todd Palmer, KSHB 41 News.
Now we move on to mental health and TMS. TMS, I didn't know this about, but it's different types of disabilities of transmedical stimulations. Is a non-exclusive treatment using magnetic coils influencing brains and activity. This treatment started first in 1985, developed into a new widespread a variety of mental health brain-related conditions. Why magnetics may work. Transmedical stimulation, basic physical, magnetic. These are the principles of work competitively with TMS. Workability work together. The space surrounding is a magnetically active, and magnetics influence the space that known as a magnetic field you can't see, but that space it still shows the effects of magnet as its core center. When you bring the magnet near something that conducts the electricity, the interaction between the conductive item and the magnetic field generates electricity. So why does this matter? It matters because the brain is electrically activate the brain cells and nerves, and known as neurons use tiny amounts of electricity to send and rely on information throughout the brain and body. Bringing magnetics close to your brain can influence your brain's electricity activity. That's why TMS targets a specific parts of your brain, especially those related to your emotions, internal decision making, feelings of pleasure, etc. Did you know there were more than one TMS? I did not. Here are the doing the possible electricity controls the magnetics, on which it requires magnetics much stronger than average magnetics. Refrigerator, or that keeps around your home. Different types of TMS. These are different types of TMS. Magnetic strength is a unit measuring most MS magnetic field with strength of 1 point. Stimulator magnetic reasonable imagination is like an MRI scan. However, the area of magnetic field much smaller than it is for an MRI. The TMS is so much smaller pulse frequency each time the magnetic turns and off a pulse, and the number of pulses second is frequency, which is measured in the Hertz, abbreviated Hz. The TMS can involve low frequency of a pulse at 1 Hz and 1 pulse per second. A frequency pulses 10 pulses per second. TMS is repetitive, known as TMS is pure pulse pattern. TMS is different patterns of treatment. An example of this is a theater pulse, but TMS 15 pulses a second, using the burst of the patterns to speed up the treatment, making it 5 or 6 times faster than other methods. Magnetic coil and stimulation targets different kinds of magnetic can target different parts of the brain cells. Deep TMS involves helmet coil treating structures of the brain. TMS is effective treating conditions: compulsive OCD, major depressive disorder, obsessive compulsive disorder, which are just named migraines, smoking cigarette cessation. In addition, the approved conditions is ongoing. See if others conditions these include. It can help you stop smoking. That's right. Help you stop smoking. Addiction, Alzheimer's disease, bipolar disorder, borderline personality disorder, chronic pain, eating disorder, eating tumor,
fibromyalgia,
Parkinson's disease, post-traumatic stress disorder, schizophrenia, stroke complications, tenuous and audio hallucinations, traumatic brain injuries. Here is more on the helmet and the TMS benefits. This guy states it changed his life. It has also helped me a lot with my depression. This is Sam Vaughn with Sam's Sports Report and Sam's Mental Health Day.
Is a treatment for depression here in Houston involving no medication. Instead, patients wear a helmet to stimulate parts of the brain. Stephanie Whitfield shows us how it all works.
Richard Felty comes to this West Houston office 5 days a week to treat the depression he's grappled with for a decade.
As I have grandkids, kids are older, but so I have 4 grandkids, and I love them, man. I love them so much, so I'm there with them, but I'm not present.
He sits in this chair, not for talk therapy, but for transcranial magnetic stimulation, also called deep TMS.
What's going on in their brains that requires stimulation to treat it?
Dr. Raymond Cho is a psychiatrist who spent several years specializing in neurostimulation.
It is so effective. We've just seen success story after success story.
He says the helmet creates a magnetic field that's pulsed through the skull.
It's like little ball bearings hitting all the different sensors in your head.
The FDA-approved protocol is 20-minute sessions 5 days a week for a month. Then sessions twice a week for another 2 months. Clinical trials found it's 60% effective in helping people with treatment-resistant depression.
About 15 days after, I felt the best that I'd felt in as long as I can remember. I mean, literally.
At Deep TMS. This video by the company Brain's Way shows how the helmet targets different parts of the brain depending on what you're trying to treat. It's also FDA cleared to treat obsessive compulsive disorder. Dr. Cho says there's no cure for conditions like depression and OCD. The results typically last 6 to 12 months. This is Felty's second time getting the treatment.
And I mean, everything don't work for everybody, but it works for me.
Depression isn't easy to talk about, but he says there's a reason he is.
Oh, it's unbelievable. I mean, it is life-changing, hands down, no question. And remember, I have a roofing company contract. I have no invested in this whatsoever, except maybe I can help somebody, can change their life the way it's done for me.
Over the summer, the FDA cleared this device to help chronic smokers quit. It uses a different helmet that targets a different part of the brain. The company says it'll roll out this version of the helmet early next year. In the Texas Medical Center, Stephanie Whitfield, KHOU 11 News.